Last week I introduced the analog synthesizer Retro Synth built into Logic Pro X. So we'll focus on the analog model, the virtual analog synthesizer. There are two sources referred to as oscillator 1, oscillator 2. We can mix in between oscillator 1, oscillator 2. So this is the source of the sound. Here is the wave shape. For example, if I simply go to factory default, recall default, and I'll just play a note. If I go to oscillator 1, that's the sound of oscillator 1, oscillator 2. They're both set to the same type of wave form. So if I change that to a square wave, go to oscillator 1, distinctly different to oscillator 2. More of a sawtooth wave. That's more like a sine wave on oscillator 2. Oscillator 1. So white noise. So you can blend between oscillators. Down here, you can affect the pitch of oscillator 2. Sense range is 100, like from -50 to 50. Because we're dealing in fractions of semitones, what you're hearing is oscillator 1. If I put that back to the middle so we have more balanced blend of oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. What you're hearing is referred to as a beat frequency, where you have two sources, oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and the pitch difference is a fraction of the frequency of either one. I should say the difference. If I was to minus oscillator 1 from oscillator 2, the resulting difference is a fraction of the frequency, which is causing this beat. You can hear a beating. Beat frequency is what that's called. Okay, the vibrato, the amount of vibrato, it can be set here. This will be applied to both oscillators. The quick key command option click will zero your parameters. Option click. Option click here makes it go to oscillator 1. So getting back to this, the vibrato, the amount of vibrato used will be applied to both oscillator 1 and 2. So I'm using the modulation wheel to apply that vibrato. If you go down here, vibrato is controlled by the modulation wheel. If your keyboard had aftertouch, you could use aftertouch to control vibrato. So the modulation wheel, when it's all the way pulled towards you, no vibrato. Increasing the modulation wheel, pushing it away from me, brings about more vibrato, and the difference, the fluctuation of the pitch is adjusted here. You can hear it go, oh. Now, the waveforms here will affect the vibrato. So vibrato is a slow oscillating modulator that modulates the pitch, and choosing a different waveform for the vibrato gives a distinct difference in sound. You can hear it go up and down. The sync is used if you wish for the speed of the vibrato to be synchronized to your digital audio workstation's tempo. And then you can work, by default it's on, and you'll see that when I change the slider here, there is a quarter note, so that's a crotchet or a quarter note. The speed slows down. Increase that to 1/32, and the rate of the vibrato is affected. So again, if the synchronization is on, this is a really, really creative tool, can be, when synchronized to the beat of your digital audio workstation. If it's off, then you're dealing in hertz.